And welcome to the UGO podcast. That's right, Unapologetic Geek Out. Oh my god, Travis, it is our first episode of 2018.
Yes, nothing's burned down yet.
Nothing, yep. And I'm excited.
Are you?
Yep. Unfortunately, no Justin today.
What? Man down, man down!
Apparently one of his New Year's resolutions was to deal with some less assholes, and for some reason he couldn't join us for today.
Weird.
I'm gonna choose to say that those are unrelated. And that he will be back at some point on his knees apologizing, hopefully.
Wait, he's gonna apologize to the unapologists?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you have to apologize to us in order to get in. That'll be the last time you apologize to anybody.
I think at this point we're just kind of proving his New Year's resolution, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a complicated process. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of, rituals and, there's a legacy to deal with it. And also, Kyle's definitely dead.
Okay.
I realized, I think we had it last week where Kyle was like, stop telling people I'm dead. And I'm like, I don't know, the more I do it, the funnier it becomes to me.
Definitely dead.
Yeah. This is going to be our look forward to 2018 episode. We're just going to go through some of the movies that are coming up in 2018.
And video games.
And I don't know if we'll do TV. A lot of the TV shows actually aren't coming back in 2018.
Yeah.
There's no Game of Thrones.
Nope.
Rick and Morty's coming back 2019.
Have to wait for Westworld.
Westworld's in 2019 too.
I think so.
Shit! Oh,
what are we gonna watch?
TV's gonna be... Well, we actually might... you know what? That might be bad. We can catch up on some of the other stuff that came out.
Right. I've actually just started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I know I'm super behind on that.
Oh yeah, I should ask you. You know what? Let's get into it, because before we go into the 2018, we're gonna do the news and the trailer talk hopefully tonight. But I wanted to just check in on what we were watching, because we've been watching some stuff. Mm-hmm. How have you been enjoying Brooklyn Nine-Nine, my friend?
Oh, it's great, and it doesn't surprise me. I kind of always knew it was funny, because there's so many things where yep, I've seen that GIF. Yep, I've seen that GIF too. Yep. I've seen some of these whole episodes GIFed before, so I'm like, I knew it was funny going in. I just never got a chance to watch it because I don't particularly like Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu is a rough fucking app. I'm not gonna lie. It's
not the best at times. And sometimes it is the worst of times.
Every once in a while, Netflix will have that, it's buffering for whatever reason. You'll go, what the fuck is up?
Right, and I'll admit that Verve doesn't have a very coherently made app.
Oh, it is trash.
It is pretty bad.
I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of these app things now. Verve is the worst navigation.
But it actually runs, though, once you do find what you want to watch.
Sure, once you actually find what you want to watch and figure out if you're on the dub or sub version of it, then you can finally watch the fucker. But it's great because Hulu has a Verve type navigation and a shit
and Hulu speed
and a CW app access of crashing and buffering problems.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually currently trying to on Nick's account watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, while apparently his brother is also trying to watch it.
Yep.
And I kept having to restart the app because it was lagging so bad, but I have to go find my episode every time because I would continue watching his episode. I was like,
yep.
Really?
It goes from the latest one that you've watched from the late, season 4 or whatever. So
that's dumb.
If you have recently watched one that's in the latest one, it'll show you oh, okay, so you're on season 4. No, but I was watching, normally they don't have to worry about two people watching at the same time in different points. But, yeah. So I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's great.
Andre Braugher is the secret weapon of that show. He is the best straight man in the world.
He really is.
And I'll tell you what, if you guys don't know, if you think that being a straight man is easy and that you can just kind of sleepwalk your way through it because all you got to do is sit there and be kind of emotionless and let the craziness bounce off of you, I want you to watch Andre Braugher and how he pulls it off, because he is great.
It's impressive.
He's amazing at it. And I love when every once in a while he does something silly and it's heightened by the fact that he's played like a robot the rest of the time.
I mean, I just watched the episode where like he gets injured and he's like, "Oh, I sprained my ankle," and then he goes up to the main character, who's like, "Actually, I was hula hooping," and it just like shows all of them pictures of like him and his husband taking like hula hooping classes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Why are you telling me this?" Because no one will ever believe you.
No one will ever believe you.
And that's
no.
So amazing. It's like, yeah, he's right. No one will ever believe him.
Yeah, Andy Samberg is actually surprisingly really fun on that show too. Even the stuff where you think it's kind of be like, because it's a cop show, you're thinking like they have a running bet throughout the first like season, I think, of like the two main detectives, one female, one being male. If one of them wins, they take the male's the female will take the male's car. And then if Andy Samberg's character wins, he takes out Amy on a date, and it's like, oh, it's a thing where the girl is the prize, and it's like super weird. But then later in the episode, it's revealed that
not even later in the episode, it's later in the season.
Like later in that season, or maybe even season 2, it reveals that that wasn't even his idea initially.
No.
And it's done as this big joke of like, no, I'm going to take you on the worst date possible. That's the idea, is that I will embarrass you because I've won the bet and I'm a sore winner. I'm going to rub it in, which is surprisingly a lot better than the other thing, because it's like, he's just kind of being a jackass and rubbing it in her face, but it's not very sexist that way.
No.
So that's pretty cool. Like that was a neat dodge that they did.
I think it was really impressive, actually.
Yeah, and it was like, because, at first I'm kind of like, okay, well, I was willing to let it go in the begin with anyway, because it's a network cop show.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is just the sort of the thing that happens.
It's on Fox, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Fox. And I was like, and then when that happens, I was like, oh, damn, that was really smart. And it's like, I think I can't remember how much of it is written, but the pilot episode is definitely written by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the Lego movie guys.
Right.
And that sense of humor kind of comes across to it as well. A lot of crossover actors too, with stuff like, it's made by a lot of the same people as Parks and Rec. So a lot of the same actors, like some of the smaller actors, get to jump on and do small roles and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I really, really do love that show. I think Boyle might be one of the better pathetic characters. Like, because everyone has a character that's pathetic and they all make fun of. Like, what's his name on Parks and Rec?
That's the joke.
Jerry? Is his name Jerry on fucking Parks?
Well, it's sometimes Jerry, sometimes Gary, sometimes they call him different things.
I don't remember, because he doesn't really have like much of a personality other than being pathetic. And the reason I love Boyle is that he's pathetic, but he's so fucking gung-ho.
It's so hard to keep him down.
He's like an amazing feat of a human being that he continues to wake up every day and come
actually
to work.
Get out of bed.
Like, I'm actually very impressed with Charles Boyle. I feel like we could learn a lesson from this guy.
Everyone be more like Charles Boyle. Unless he goes full Boyle, then don't do that.
He is really amazing. I think the useless characters that they replace in this one are like Hitchcock and Scully, that seem to be just the gross ones that are just there to be doofuses.
Right.
Also Chelsea Peretti as what's her name, Gina.
Their HR.
I don't know if she's like
whatever
the secretary, but she's
whatever
also,
she is.
Yeah,
she's terrifying.
She will say so wrong-headed things with such unbelievable confidence.
Just conviction.
It'll take you a half second to realize what she said was just fucking crazy. And it's great. Like, they have an episode later where she gets studied by like a psychologist of like, oh my god, it's the perfect combination of the id and ego. It's like a unicorn. Like, but yeah.
And she kind of just takes that like, yeah, that's because I'm awesome. It's like, you're terrifying, actually.
But yeah, what a great show. What else have we been watching? We caught up on Last Man, actually. We might actually be done with this season of Last Man. I'm not sure. Are we done with the season?
It might be, because like there was a trailer in French at the end of the episode. So
it actually is a French animated show, or a French comic.
I didn't know that.
Off of. Yeah.
But the thing is, that appeared only after we watched the most recent episode. So I'm like, okay, are we done now, or did that just pop up because they put it on here now? I haven't checked recently, the last couple of days, if it got a new episode, but they were pulling them out pretty quickly before that.
Yeah, it's a really fun show that's really dirty and gross. That is actually, I kind of appreciate it being dirty.
Yeah.
And it really, like, it's not afraid to show its characters not only having sex, but just straight up fucking.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know the difference, just watch. There is a difference.
Yeah, there is.
There's episodes where they are just straight up, like, fucking against a wall or something, and it's kind of, like, dirty and gross and, like...
sex.
Yeah, and it's like, oh man, that's really interesting. The animation is actually very limited. The art style, I would say, is actually kind of the ugly part about it. The animation when it's happening, like with the fights or something.
Right, the fights are actually really well done.
The fights and stuff are actually pretty well animated, but the regular, like, you can tell they're really working that budget because in the background of scenes, there'll be some characters that just don't move. That don't move at all. Like some background characters. There'll be like 2 characters in the foreground and then 1 character in the background that does not move at all.
Like that one, the lady at the bar who was like sitting there listening to him yell at a child. She just sits there and stares.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of because it's just like, what is this chick doing? Doesn't she have work to do? Nope. I mean, she's seems to be the bartender here. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. But yeah, it's like shoestring budget, it seems like at certain points, which is more impressive that they keep getting away with some of these really interesting monsters that they do. Every once in a while, I think that it's because it's so weird and kind of like it doesn't really spoon feed you a lot of information. It really takes the audience as like, okay, you're smart enough to figure this out. Every once in a while, I'm kind of like, wait a minute. Like, there's that one episode where we had the cop that's following them.
Right.
I don't know if that cop's alive anymore. I think she is. I think she is, but I'm not 100% sure. Like,
yeah, I don't know, because the very last episode we see her in is the sex one.
And we don't see her after that again, and it looked like she might have, like, at least been hurt, but we don't know, like, if she just passed out or if she actually died.
Yeah, because we see the weird scene with her partner.
Yeah, I saw the partner scene, and I thought the partner was definitely dead. And then he's like, oh, so he wasn't dead.
Oh, hey, there's a new episode, by the way.
Sweet. Okay, so we have one more. So we're not quite done. Yeah, I thought so, because the place we left on was too big of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? We watched a little bit of Black Clover.
Yes, I got you actually caught up on that one.
Mm-hmm. So Black Clover is an interesting show about magicians that have to use grimoires to access their magic. Our main character having no magic and therefore no grimoire. He gets access to a grimoire via some main character means of circumstance.
He's possessed by a demon fox. Wait, no, wrong show.
Oh, it's like our character is Rock Lee from like Naruto, but goes to the Bleach Harry Potter school with like the Bleach captains if they taught Harry Potter classes. There's certain things about the show that I really like. Like, I like the fact that the main rivalry between the two characters, the goofball and the stoic one, it's actually like they were friends before and they're actually still friends. But I like to think that the one of them is like, oh, we're rivals now, and that means I have to be the Sasuke of the show.
Pretty much.
So that's kind of funny. There are other like kind of points in the show where they do have some humorous stuff with some of the dialogue. And
then there's the joke they run to the ground.
Well, there's a couple jokes that I'm really worried about that they're going to run into the ground, but there's only one that they've sufficiently done it with so far. So I need to talk to you anime fans real quick. So there's a thing in anime that have readily accepted over the years, and the fact that their style of humor is very different over in Japan, apparently.
Yeah.
And, well, their sense of humor via sex is just very different. And, at least in the West, today's culture, it's a little bit different. So when we have our main character, Black Clover, we first introduce him doing the joke of he's asking a female nun that's, I think, is much older than him. I'm not sure.
She looks about the same age when we see him when he's like 6 as we do when he's like 15.
Let's give him a 10-year difference.
Yeah, at least.
Let's give him a 10-year difference to be, and that's fair on the side of caution there. and he asked her to marry him. He's like, I'm a woman of the cloth and I can't, oh no. And she does the thing of holding her hand in front of her mouth and like, oh, please, I love you, you'll be my wife. And then suddenly she hits him with this water jet. It sets up our main character as this goofball weirdo, and it gives us introduction to magic in a very funny way. So I'm like, oh, okay. So, and then like he's asking a nun to marry him. I'm like, haha, he's asking a nun, dummy. So like that's the joke. And I'm like, okay, it's uncomfortable that like he's 14 or whatever, but like it's fine. He's just a stupid kid. And then they hit it again later in that same episode, I think. And I was kind of like
multiple times the episode.
Well, there was like 2 in the first episode, and then the second episode they hit it again at least once or twice. And I'm kind of like, ugh, why, man? This joke is. They're really gonna go. They're really going with this joke, aren't they? And then the episode 3, where they do the backstory episode for everybody, they hit it 6 times.
Did you actually count there?
Yeah, I counted. I'm not exaggerating. They hit the same joke in the same episode 6 times. They vary it up 1 time in which he has a dream sequence where she says yes. Every other time it follows the same formula of him asking her to marry him, or her like asking her to marry him, and then she either says no and is very awkward and then everyone else yells at him, or she says no, gets very awkward, and then hits him with a water blast.
Yep.
There is no variation. This joke is awful. It's terrible. No, not that I don't get it or I don't have the correct taste in this joke. No, this joke is not funny.
Well, it's even if it was funny the first time, after the 12th time of the same framework of the joke, it's kind of boring.
This is lazy. It's so lazy. And when I think of the other jokes, the other running jokes in other shows, you know, there's the Full Metal Alchemist joke. He doesn't like to be called short. And every time he's called short, he bursts out and goes, yeah, rah, rah, and he does the thing. But even that, it'll crop up to where someone will say how he's short differently, or he'll get sensitive about it when someone else wasn't even talking about he was short.
Right.
Or, let's see, another example. Sit from Inuyasha, the classic, the go-to.
Right.
That one's probably one of the better running jokes because it can come in and out of nowhere. It's very short. It's very.
They leave it alone at times.
It can be varied up. It can happen when Kagome is mad at him, or if Inuyasha is about to do something really bad, or it can happen, or it can actually be a factor into the plot. And I was thinking of another one that was also a funnier version of it too. Oh yeah, Blood
Blockade Battlefront.
Yeah, that one where they have the guy who's kind of the lech in there too, but there's more to his personality. Like he's also a kind of a cretin. He's a degenerate gambler. He wants to be
a terrible person.
He has but there's a lot of things to him.
Right.
It's not just that. And this is what concerns me about the show, is because after that episode, they leave the village, and then they at least don't hit up that same joke anymore, but then they do mention the nun all the time. When he gets into a situation where he has another pretty girl around, I'm like, oh, I better be careful, or I don't want to cheat on the nun or whatever. And I'm just like, because the show has to remind us of the nun and how funny that fucking joke was or something.
Right.
And so if there's any anime fans listening right now and you wonder like why some people just go, I'm just not into anime. This is kind of why. This sort of shit that is like, 1, it's uncomfortable. 2, it's just boring. And 3, if it's not boring, like by episode 3, you will hate that joke.
Yeah.
And every time they remind you of it, you'll just
tune out.
You're just like, oh, I hate it so much. One of the cooler fights that happens in this show happens off screen too, which is like this fight between this golem and a water controller person. And so far we haven't seen a fight that cool yet. And I'm kind of like in the main story, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm kind of looking forward to when our main characters get to fight in a giant awesome battle like that, because that was pretty cool.
Well, it's kind of the slight issue we have with our main character not having magical power.
Sure, but he has a cool giant sword that eats magic and reflects magic, and he's got a bunch of friends that have also really cool character moves. Like, he's a great he does provide like, he's a great companion piece. He can eat and reflect magic and really change up the flow of a battle between 2 mages, I would assume. And yeah, he gets hooked up with the crazy crew of the Black Bulls. And I like the female character that has a very sympathetic backstory in the beginning where she wants to take the test, and like everybody else, but she can't control her magic, and her brother really goes at her about it. Like,
right. She's supposed to be noble born, tells her like you should have died instead of mother, that type of thing.
Yeah, it's rough, and you kind of go, damn, and you feel bad for her. And then she shows up, and she is such an unrepentant bitch. She is so, like, not that she's just unpleasant. I'm like, wow, you are a straight up bitch. And I like that because it's a persona that she puts on, because every once in a while we hear inside her head, and it's like, oh my god, that was amazing. I can't believe I just did that. And she has this cool, there's a lot of like people acting like main character tropes in this show, like at least for anime, that I'm like, that's actually kind of funny that they're forcing themselves to fit these molds rather than being. The main character is not. He is basically just Naruto or whatever your loud protagonist is. Also another joke that it seems to be like, oh, if our character is loud, that means he has a personality. And I'm like, nah, it just means he's loud. And I'm waiting for him to get a little more interesting too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, yeah, he's loud and he's energetic, and I get that because he's opposite of his friend who's stoic and not very. And I'm like, man, there's more than like two types of main characters, guys. And then, of course, the Bulls all are made up of characters that seem to have one trait about them that they hit over and over again. No matter what the situation is, what the conversation they're having, they will work it back to their trope. Like, there's this...
I think that's more due to the fact that we just haven't done anything with those characters yet, more than anything.
Well, like, one, we haven't done anything with the characters yet, but also... they can say other stuff. Like the only time the guy that has the sister talks is when he's talking about his sister.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything else to his personality. And that's with a lot of these guys. I'm like, during the episodes where we see a couple of them at the same time, maybe a dialogue, instead of doing that 3 times, do it twice. And then another thing is another hobby that they have, or another thing about them. Like that, because the other kid is like, hey, I want to fight. I like fighting. Man, you want to fight? Oh man, we're eating right now. Hey, I'll trade you some of my food if you want to fight. Like, oh man, did we just get paid? Hey, I'll give you all of my pay if you'll fight me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, kid, I get it. You like to fight. Holy Christ. Like, I'm surprised Bull and them don't have him tied to a chair or something because of all, like, I'm assuming the chaos that the kid could cause. So yeah, there's those things that make me nervous of how often they're gonna like make these people one-note jokes, because I tell you what, that nun running joke has me shook. It has me real nervous, because I'm like, I don't know if I could watch a show with a bunch of those running jokes in them. But yeah, otherwise it has some really clever stuff about it that I actually am digging. One of the things being the main character's power is so fucking evil looking. Like, he has this purple-black demon basically come up behind him when he first gets the power. It's a black grimoire with a 6-leaf clover on it that's never apparently been seen before.
5-leaf.
Or, no, his is a 6-leaf, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's 5 leaves.
Anyway, it's supposed to be a reflection of the other guy who has the 4-leaf or whatever. Right. And so, and then no one seems to bring it up of how fucking evil looking his power is.
The most I ever mention is, like, when he doesn't get chosen to go into one of the groups at first, is like, well, no one wants a power that weird. And we're like, that's as far as you're gonna go? Is that it looks kind of weird or uncontrolled? Like, no, it's fucking evil.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. Like, how about I'm just, like, it feels evil, guys. Like, I don't know of, like, how normal powers look in this show, but I've seen a couple of them, and none of them look this fucking, like, creepy looking.
No, when he tried to register for, like, this test, they should have been, like, immediately arrested and be like, sorry, this grimoire is wanted for half a dozen murders in various areas, but I didn't do any of that. Yeah, you're an accomplice, though.
Yeah, also they have a moment where everyone is being held captive in this town, or whatever, and it was making me think of, like, wait a minute, everyone in this universe has magic. Like, none of, like, it's made pretty clear that they're all gonna die if they don't do anything.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I realize that not everyone has the same level of magic that everybody does, but it has been shown that people can summon fireballs and do some pretty neat shit even without the grimoires and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe do something.
Try anything.
No, we have to wait for the main characters to do stuff. Because there's a whole thing of like, oh no, they can't defend us and attack at the same time. And I'm like, how about you fucking people leave? How about everyone just run? Like, what's the deal here, guys? Like,
they were pretty useless.
I mean, there's one thing of like, okay, they're afraid and they don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. Or maybe if it was that they were afraid of dying and they didn't know if they did something that maybe the antagonist would kill them. But the antagonist made it clear that we are going to kill you. That is our goal here. That's what we're going to do. So them just huddling and not really doing anything makes me go like, I don't know what, like, if you all just forgot that you had magic or what. But yeah, that seems more like a plot detail that like, well, you know, we gotta create tension and whatnot. So far, it's no My Hero Academia, but it's fun. Let's see, anything else we wanted to mention before we just get into the news?
I don't think so.
No Justin this week, so we're just gonna go into a couple news stories that I wanted to bring up before we hit up some trailer talk. We have, let's see here, oh yeah, I did want to mention that the one of our favorite, maybe not favorite movies, one of the movies we preferred, Maleficent, is getting a sequel.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
And Angelina Jolie is returned for Maleficent 2.
How's that gonna work?
I don't know. Like, what do you do with Maleficent 2? Like, do you tell a story in between, like, the years where she, was raising the Aurora from that movie? If you guys don't remember, this is the movie, the Disney movie where they remade Maleficent into kind of a sympathetic character.
Which apparently everyone but us hated.
Yeah, that... I'm not sure how much it was hated. It actually did pretty good in the box office, I remember, right?
Yeah, but it's a Disney film. They don't have to be good movies to make money.
Yeah, and then... they made Maleficent into a sympathetic kind of like rape revenge film, if you believe it or not. Like, that's kind of what it was. So that was interesting. I'll admit that a lot of it was sold on the charisma of Angelina Jolie in that role, and the costuming department was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Where just how she looked like a live action version of Maleficent was awesome. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm super excited for that, because I was one of the weird people that liked Maleficent. On the other hand, I'm like, I don't know how you tell that story after how that movie wraps up,
right?
Because everything is pretty much cool. Everything's hunky-dory at the end of that. And you can't really go back to Maleficent being evil for whatever reason. So you'd have to tell a story in between those points where she still has the get-up.
Right.
Because otherwise you're going to tell the story of Maleficent where she's just a fairy again. No one wants to see that.
Not really, no.
I don't want to see that either. And I even like those parts of the movie, but like, no, I want to see evil in Maleficent tear shit up. Like, I want to see green magic and, and all that.
Dragons and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious, at least.
I wouldn't hold much hope for it, but I mean, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, if we get to see Angelina Jolie again in that role, I think it might be worth it as well, because it was just so how she nails it is so good. Like, it's very compelling anytime she's on screen.
I mean, we just watched a technical sequel to Jumanji and liked it, so...
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that we watched Jumanji recently. How good was that?
Like I said, walking out of the theater, that movie was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, that was really impressive, actually. If you guys haven't checked out Jumanji yet, you should give it a try. It was really fun if you're into video games, especially. Like, they really get the video game tropes of like NPCs and certain levels and abilities and stuff, and they really play with it.
Yeah.
Also, Jack Black makes a pretty fun return.
I love Jack Black in this movie.
See, I'm like, yeah, Jack Black, where have you been? I've been in the Goosebump movies. But yeah, also, Animaniacs is returning.
Actually coming back?
We're getting a reboot, man.
Wow.
And it is coming to Hulu.
Oh.
In 2020. So, I think I'm not sure, like, where did it air originally? Fox? Yes. But later was on the WB.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so, wow, I am super excited about that. Love the Animaniacs. So I know that we can't like we can't throw a dead cat without hitting a TV show revival at this point.
It's true.
But man, Animaniacs is so good, and I think most of the people are still alive for doing the voice work.
Knock on wood.
All the three Animaniacs, the Warner brothers and the Warner sister Dot, they're all alive. Pinky and the Brain are still kicking it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, now I'm thinking of all the other characters. I'm not sure if Slappy the Squirrel might not. Maybe I'm not sure if her voice actress. I think she is. Anyway, yeah, it's a revival that can be very easily done. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
I at least want to see how it works. And how the Animaniacs play in today's style of comedy and stuff.
Right? They can do the country song again.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama.
They had to change it up a bit.
Yeah, they updated it. I remember back when that song had the update of like Germany now in one piece.
Yes.
like anytime you have to list like that for kids now, I'm sure they're like Germany now in one piece. Okay, yeah, Germany used to be. You know what? Like, never mind. You'll learn that when you're older, because I'm assuming you're showing these kids these songs when they're like, I don't know, 7 or 8. But yeah, it is. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to it a lot. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are also getting a reboot. Rise of the Ninja Turtles
again.
They're saying that one's going to be 2D animation, which has my interest up. God, I hate 3D animation so much.
Yeah. Troll Hunter's like one of the only shows I've actually seen it done well.
Yeah, and Troll Hunters even at certain points, like remember season 1 where there isn't anyone in the fucking town? Right. Like, it'd be hard to animate people in the background
that don't do 3D.
And yeah, like the only 3D animations for TV shows I like are Ruby and Troll Hunters. It seems like, and yeah, if you're not, and also if you're of a movie studio, if you're not Pixar, maybe just don't do it. Like,
just stop.
Yeah, if you don't get the Disney brand behind you, I don't know. Like 3D animation, you need so much money to make it look good. But so I am excited that the Ninja Turtles are going back to 2D to see what that looks like. Let's see, any other news that we got going on? Oh, you know what? We should at least talk about the Logan Paul thing for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we got to bring it up. So, oh my god. If any YouTubers are listening out right now, hey, don't do stupid shit.
So I didn't actually hear all of this story. I just kind of
you didn't hear it all?
I heard snippets of it.
Oh, okay. So the gist of it is that Logan Paul, a famous YouTuber, I think he was a Disney star before, I don't know. I actually had never heard of him before this controversy.
Yeah, me either.
And he has a popular YouTube channel. He's one of the higher ups. I think he's one of those YouTube millionaires.
Okay.
Him and his brother, who I forget what his brother's name is. But anyway, they went over to Japan to record, like, as a vacation and record some videos or whatever. They go to the suicide forest, and they, one of their guys says, like, hey, we found a person that committed suicide. They found a guy hanging from a tree. It is very, like, it's disturbing. I mean, it is a suicide forest. So when you go in, you know that, like, that's a thing that you can see in there. That's where, if you guys don't know, the suicide forest is a place in Japan where people go in record numbers to commit suicide to a point where, like, it's a common thing. If you're going to commit suicide, it's a kind of like a trendy thing to do. It's weird. I don't know, like, why. I don't know what started or why there's a designated spot to commit suicide.
It almost seems like a self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing.
Yeah, so it's a creepy place. They made a movie about it before that wasn't very good.
Start a white check.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But it would be that does sound like a great premise for a horror movie.
Oh, it definitely does.
Anyway, Logan comes up and it's like, oh my god, we found a dead body. We're gonna make YouTube history, and records it. I'd play some of the audio here, but I don't know. I find it very distasteful, so I'm just not. So I'm just gonna paraphrase what he says. He comes up to it and he kind of laughs, and it seems like he's very excited because he knows that he's about to get a bunch of hits on YouTube,
of course,
for showing this dead body because it's a big controversy. and he throws it up there, and he has like a suicide call to action or whatever, like, hey, if you're not alone sort of thing. And I don't know, he's getting a lot of flack for it now because people are coming off like, wow, that was very distasteful. He's not monetizing that video, but he's monetizing the apology to that video,
of course,
which also has a lot of views on it. And also, it doesn't really matter if he's monetizing the video or not, because guess what? I never knew who Logan Paul was before this. Now I do. And now a lot of other people do, because there's a lot of people are running this on news channels, and there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Nope.
And also now, there's a risk of like another PewDiePie thing of where advertisers pull out of YouTube, of not just his channel, but everybody's channels, because they're very nervous about YouTube's platform.
Because who they support, yeah.
Because it's not a thing that they can, the advertisers who advertised on that video that he uploaded, they didn't get a chance to pre-approve it or whatever.
Right.
They just get like, oh nope, our ad played before this person where he showed someone committing suicide. They can't decide where to advertise after the content is created. So advertisers get nervous anytime about that and decide to treat all of YouTube as this Wild West thing of like, oh geez, if we advertise on YouTube, who knows what anyone could put out. Maybe we just shouldn't do it anymore. And
if that happens, then the YouTubers don't make much money.
Yeah, so people lose a lot of money, and a lot of YouTubers lose money, not just the people that are perpetrating it. Like, anyone who's making their living on YouTube lose money during one of these instances. And, yeah, it sucks. And I feel like we need to, like, YouTube itself, you need to get your shit together.
Oh, geez, YouTube has been a problem for a while.
And I realize that it's such a problem that we don't have a competition for YouTube anymore. Like, there's no, like, even Bing is gone now, or whatever the hell that one was. Blip, or whatever.
I don't remember.
Blip, that's what it was. And, yeah, Blip is gone. Dailymotion might as well be gone. Like, there's only one place to put video content up on the internet. And, they take down your shit with bots, and that seems to be the only thing they're concerned with is fucking copyright or whatever. So, and then they don't, but the problem with bots is they don't catch this shit. And now it's going to be like, well, what, like, could you like slap a subpoena onto his account, punish him in some way so that he learns his lesson or something, and so that
well, they care.
I'm not sure. I don't know what would be the best course of action to correct his action of like to make him not do this anymore. I'm not a YouTube exec. I don't know like what would be the most incentive reason to give to this guy to not put up content like this. I don't know. I would take some of his revenue for a little bit to try and offset, like, well, you got this much popularity off of this. We're going to take this much revenue from you for a 6-month period or something.
And maybe, I don't know, donate to a suicide hotline or something.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a real problem with these dumb fucking kids on YouTube that is just like, they don't understand basic shame, I guess.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
Or common sense, like, because it's like,
human empathy.
Because, and I get it from a certain perspective, is they grow up in an environment that rewards bad behavior.
Kind of.
So that's not great. So, like, from their YouTube audience, you can tell, like, they're, from other people that are already defending him and stuff, too, of just like, okay, well, these people want me to do and push the envelope and be kind of a dick on screen, because that's his main joke, too, is that he's kind of a douche. And, like, and I get it from, like, PewDiePie's perspective, too. Like, that's what people come to the channel for. I don't know why, but they come for me screaming and yelling and playing video games, not much of intellectual content. And so he thinks, like, this will be a good thing. This will really get them going. And I guess he just doesn't. He must have had a chance to think it through, because it's not like it's a live video. It's edited.
Right. You had to put effort into that.
He edited it. He sat there. He edited. He published it. He put it up there in processing. He had a bunch of time to think to himself, like, maybe I shouldn't post this. And
he did.
Yeah, it is just distasteful, and I have a very low opinion of anyone who would do that for was such obviously publicity purposes.
Right.
Because if you wanted to, show some respect or like doing Suicide Hotline, you could have done it without showing the body. Of like, hey, we were in the suicide forest and I saw someone hanging from a tree, and like if he did a vlog on it where he just spoke into a camera, like, holy shit, how messed up was this? How messed up did he just shares it with his viewers? Like, it would have been a deep personal message of like, wow, I've never been that close to a suicide before. It really made me think. Here's the suicide hotline. Anyone who's thinking about suicide, you're not alone. If he had done the same message without showing the fucking body, it actually would have been like, okay, yeah, I get that. But he showed the body, and there's only one reason why. Like, we're not let's not give him the benefit of the doubt. He knew it was going to be controversial, and it's going to be YouTube gold. But whatever.
Whatever, indeed.
We're actually going to take a small musical break right now and think to ourselves about how best to, I don't know, not shoot dead bodies in our videos, I guess. But yeah, we'll be back with the looking forward into 2018 right after this. And welcome back to the UGO podcast, guys. We're gonna do our look forward to 2018 because we are done with 2017.
Done.
Get the fuck out of here, 2017, and bring on the new shit.
Yeah, that could hopefully be better.
So let us take a gander into the future, Travis.
Okay.
Should we just start with some movies here?
Sure.
Of what's coming out in 2018?
Well, I know at least one that's like super excited that I'm pretty sure is coming out in February.
Yeah.
Which is it Black Panther?
Black Panther is in fucking February.
Yes. Because apparently that's the new month of awesome shit.
because that's where we drop awesome movies that might have social commentary, especially including the black community.
Yeah.
See Get Out. Also, but before that, you want to talk about The Commuter with Liam Neeson in January?
No.
It's coming out January 12th. How about Paddington 2?
I've heard Paddington 1 was good, but I never saw it, so...
I mean, the latest Insidious film is actually out in theaters right now. I think they're on 4. Who gives a shit?
The one with the key fingers, right?
Key fingers,
yes.
Yep. Key fingers.
That is what I remember of that movie. It has key fingers.
I'll do the fingering.
Aha! Pretty sure there's some kind of unlocking joke there, but I'm just gonna leave it.
Okay, see, what else is in February? Is it really only Black Panther for the big... Oh, no.
No?
Other big one. We have 50 Shades Freed.
Oh, are we almost free?
The end of the trilogy, and then we will be free, Travis.
I think so.
Yeah, so we're doing a quick yay or nay on these ones. That one would be a nay.
What? You don't want to go see it?
Black Panther would definitely be yay. With a big yay.
Super yay.
Okay, so, Peter Rabbit. Did you see the trailer for Peter Rabbit?
I don't think I did, no.
I saw it. It looks pretty weird. I mean, I remember those books when I was a kid, and they were pretty cute. It's a 3D animated, mixed with live action people, show. So it's, I mean, could you name one of those off the top of your head that was Babe? Well, Babe had live action animals too. Damn it. Never mind then. But yeah, Black Panther then would be February 16th.
Awesome.
Also, Early Man, that Walter and Gromit's new movie.
That doesn't look very good.
With the cavemen playing soccer against bronze-aged,
knights.
Yeah, so that was weird. Although that trailer that they have for Early Man has one really good joke in it with the duck. The giant duck.
Oh, yes. Okay, that one was kind of funny.
Where they have that forced perspective where you don't know how big the duck is until he throws the rock at it. That one did make me laugh. Then February 23rd, wow, there's a lot of stuff in February, actually. Annihilation. The Natalie Portman movie where they fight a man-bear pig.
Yes.
Remember that? Also the girl that's Valkyrie is in there. So that's pretty neat. Tessa Thompson? Is that her name?
Possibly.
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
That's one I always forget what it is based off the movie's title.
Yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to that one. I really like the idea of some really crazy combination monster animals and stuff. But I'm a fan of the Sharktopus movies too. So it does. You know what? It does feel like it's a bunch of sci-fi monster movies that came into an actual movie, like a real movie.
Could be,
because it's got the crocodiles that have shark teeth in them, right? Sharkodiles. Come on, man. That's totally a thing. Oh, also we have we move on to March. It's Death Wish with Bruce Willis, the remake.
That didn't look that great.
Well, let's be honest. Bruce Willis has been sleepwalking through his career for the last, I don't know, 5 to 8 years probably. And if not longer. And yeah, Death Wish might not be a great movie to remake in today's climate either.
A white guy going around shooting people?
Of just going shooting gangsters and basically taking vigilante justice into his own hands.
Yeah, I could see where that might turn out poorly.
Well, what people don't understand about Death Wish, Punisher, and vigilantes of that sort is that they were very, very popular during the 80s, especially actually even the late 70s, where it really did look like, especially in New York and stuff, where like it looked like crime was going to be basically like our new apocalypse. Like crime was going to take over, and just, you know, it was going to be like they thought RoboCop was going to be like a real thing. Like RoboCop was going to be totally real, and we were expecting an escape from New York scenario. So it was very cathartic to see a guy, you know, like do what the cops couldn't do at the time.
Right.
And just clean up the streets and, you know, and get revenge and do that sort of thing. We're in a very different climate now where revenge movies usually have much more personal stakes of like, you know, they don't just go shoot around gangsters and stuff, but they should go and get revenge on a very specific group of people that, you know, and rather than just fight crime. Punisher is an interesting exception because, you know, the Marvel people have to put a Punisher show out almost. But there's a reason that they instead chose to have him fight like a military conspiracy rather than just, you know, people on the street.
It's funny though, because of course the Punisher is still very popular with like the alt-right and stuff. It's kind of ironic though, considering that the actor that plays Punisher is Jewish.
Yeah. I think, what was it? John Bernthal actually had a message for people like some of the right-winger and, Second Amendment nuts that were worshiping the Punisher. He's like, one of the interview asked him like, "Do you have anything to like you would like to say to any of those fans?" And he responds with a succinct, "Fuck you guys." And then that was the end of the quote.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh,
good quote."
All right, I guess very succinct that John Bernthal, a man of few words.
Well, let's face it, the alt-right do target Jewish people, so yeah.
Man, it does make me weirded out that they had that fucking point in Punisher as well, where they had that really drop the ball with that Second Amendment argument.
Still don't like that.
That was stupid. Like, man, isn't it ironic that you don't like would
hire guns to help you and
regulate guns, but would hire bodyguards with guns? No, stupid. That's the point of regulating guns. Is that only licensed people have them? Fucking moron. Like, I hate it. I don't want to think of Karen Page as this fucking moronic journalist, but that was such a stupid fucking question. But yeah, we have Red Sparrow, which is basically that Jennifer Lawrence spy movie that makes me think of a Black Widow prequel.
Yeah, except for it looks boring.
I mean, it looks artful and tasteful, Travis. Which is just another fancier word for boring.
Jennifer Lawrence puts me to sleep.
So, this is interesting. In March 9th, we had a sequel to a movie from 2008 that I don't think a lot of people remember. Do you remember the movie The Strangers?
Possibly, if you told me the description?
Cult movie, horror, where it was a bunch of these people with, it was like 3 strangers, I guess, were harassing a couple in their house, and they had like these sacks on with these smiley faces. and stuff.
Don't remember that, actually, no.
Yeah, it was a very strange movie that I actually really liked I liked the filmmaking aspect of it. I wasn't super sure if I was crazy about the twist of just like, it wasn't like it was all like, hey, why are you doing this to us? And then the people were like, you were home. Like, and it was kind of like, it's one of those that, for me, it almost worked of like, oh, it's just this random violence that it doesn't even, but I'm also kind of like, damn it, I don't like things that are just kind of like, oh, and it happened just cuz.
Right, just random happenstance.
This, I mean, I was almost willing to let it go because the rest of the movie was actually pretty well shot as well. They're making a sequel called Prey at Night.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think the tagline is "Beware the kindness of strangers." I'm not sure. Like, I mean, I guess it's a movie that can easily be a franchise because these people that harass that harass the couple, they can go to any other house. It's not like they need a reason for it. But also, I don't know if like that, like you'd basically just be doing the same movie again, but with new characters.
So, Saw.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't get my hopes up for it. Also, March 9th, A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, yes. That one looks like a movie.
With Frieza Oprah Winfrey. I really, if I want to watch that movie for anything, I want to see Oprah Winfrey turn into her final form. Let's see, what else we got here? What else is in March? Oh, we have Tomb Raider in March.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a... Well,
I feel like no one remembers that movie's coming out. Or is that just me? Is that just me?
Instead of having a video game based on a movie, this is a movie based off a video game, and that's never a good sign. Mm-hmm. Because it does look like it is pretty much just the reboot of Tomb Raider.
Yeah. I mean, with us watching Jumanji and watching how good that movie was, I'm kind of thinking like all video game movies should just do that premise where people get sucked into the specific video game.
And there's always the issues like Jumanji is technically a video game movie because it's not actually based off any video game. It just takes elements from video games in general. I think that makes it a lot better because of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have to follow a strict mythology.
Right, they can't, like, oh, well, that
there's no, like, oh, I can't believe they made this movie a comedy, like, this game a comedy, it's so serious or whatever, no disrespect argument,
Right.
I really like Alicia Vikander, though, and I love Walton Goggins. So, I don't know, there's something about it that's making me not excited, and if you had to pin me down and, like, say what it was, I just don't think that I just don't think that the story is going to be like as compelling as, say, what the first video game actually, like the first video game of the reboot series actually was. And it's hard because I know, like, oh, what's the difference? Like, you want the video game to you don't want it to be completely different, like from the video game, the movie story, because then why make it in the first place? But you don't want it to follow too similar because otherwise, why are you making the movie in the first place? So yeah, it's a catch-22, I'll admit. I don't know, I'm not sure exactly which is the better way to go with it. Let's see, still in March, we are in March 23rd, that's Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yes, that one could be good. I'm not sure yet, actually.
I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't have Guillermo del Toro's kind of signature style with it, like that's what I liked about the first Pacific Rim movie overall. And yeah, I don't know. Like I should be more excited for a giant kaiju movie where giant robots are fighting kaiju. I
mean, the first one was pretty fun.
Yeah, I did like the first one, and I'll still watch it every once in a while.
Yeah.
There is a point though where even I go like a suspension of disbelief of just like, hey, why didn't you use the sword the whole fucking time?
It's always gonna come back to that sword.
I mean, I let a lot of stuff goes in movies. You know me in movies like that. Yeah. I'm not one to get hung up on details and stuff.
Unless it's boring you.
Unless it's boring me. It takes a lot of a really big logical leap for me to take me out of a movie that I'm actively enjoying. And even though they're fighting a giant monster, I'm like, yeah, you hit that giant monster with a fucking battleship. That's amazing. And then, like, what was cool about that is, like, he's using that giant battleship like it's a sword. That's great. Until you realize that he had an actual sword the whole time.
Which just makes it kind of property damage.
And you kind of go like, wait, what? what?
It's like, that seems silly.
Yeah, I still like that movie though. Let's see what else we got. Oh, also March 23rd, Sherlock Gnomes. Yeah, no ship Sherlock. We're gonna be watching that one. Man, I don't even remember the first fucking movie of like Romeo and Juliet.
I remember it exists, but that's about it.
I mean, I'm looking forward to some other movies. Like, how about Hunchback of Nostradamus or something? Or or Nostradamus, or like no, that's right. It should be a gnome that can see the future. Nostradamus. There you go. That's it. Now we're on it. But let's see. Isle of Dogs also comes out on limited release that Friday as well.
Well, I'd much rather see that one, even though that movie looks like it may terrify me. I'm not sure yet.
Yep. We did get a funny YouTube comment on our on our trailer talk of that one, which was someone was talking about like I love how you guys are weirded out by the fact that the dogs speak English rather than the dogs actually talking, and I'm like, fair, and I was like, hey,
I don't have an argument for that.
Fair enough. March 30th, Ready Player One.
Still don't know about that one way or the other.
That's a lot of big blockbuster stuff up until March.
Yeah.
That Pacific Rim, Ready Player One, Black Panther.
I thought you said Pacific Rim, and I'm like,
Pacific Rim.
It's a certain rim.
It's a very specific rim in there. Specific rim job. No, I made the porn parody. That's a bummer. And that's a lot of blockbusters up before May, though, dude.
It is.
Let's see. What else did we got? I think we have to move into April for anything else significant.
Okay.
Let's see. We got, very interesting. The latest X-Men film, The New Mutants.
Yes, that does look actually really interesting.
April 13th. Friday the 13th is when that comes out.
Good planning.
Very interesting. I would like to see that. I'm very interested.
Kind of want them to just keep going with this idea of like, yeah, we're just going to do, different mutants for everything now.
Yeah, let's see. April 20th, we get Rampage with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, where he'll make the shitty version of the video game movie he just did with Jumanji.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it because
I know you are.
I want to see giant wolves fight giant monkeys. It's gonna be really stupid, guys.
Yep.
There was no way they were gonna make a Rampage movie without being stupid. So there's that.
Glad you know that going in.
So there's no way, like, they have to, man, I hope they don't try and play it serious. Like or if they play it serious, it's like that Starship Troopers of like, can you believe that we told the actors to play this seriously? But I think we have to move into May then. May being the big month, we got and what comes May 4th, Travis? What always comes that first week of May? The Marvel, baby. Usually it's usually it's my birthday. It's usually the second week in May that we get a Marvel movie.
So is it Ant-Man for this one then?
No, it's Infinity War, man.
Oh, that one's coming out that... I didn't realize it was coming out that early. I thought it was...
Oh, no, yeah. They saved the big ones for May.
Yeah.
May is for their big releases. It's for the Avengers movies. It's for the Civil War movies. It's for the fucking Captain America. Yeah, it's their big shit. So Infinity War will be dropping May 4th, Friday. May the 4th be with you. Fuck that. Fuck Star Wars for that day.
No, that's Christmas now.
Yeah, I really am excited for that movie. If just anything, just this culmination of like, oh my god, all the heroes in one movie, all hands on deck, let's get it on. Guardians, we're finally meeting up, let's do it.
Everyone!
Let's see, what else have we got here? We got May 18th, Slender Man, is the new movie for the folklore turned video game character Slender Man.
I'll skip that one, thank you very much.
Very interesting premise of where Slender Man, the more you stare at him, the crazier you get, and he kind of like keeps popping up and fucking with you.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, easy horror movie premise right there.
With a lot of jump scares, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I'm not sure how it would work in a complete narrative rather than like, because the video game, it just works of like, you're just looking for the key and trying to escape this fucking forest. Let's see what else we got here. May 25th, Solo, a Star Wars story.
Ah, yes.
So, man, Star Wars couldn't even come out May the 4th. Avengers took that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bitch, move out the way.
But it's
like,
the same parent company.
Fuck it. Disney knows where their money comes from.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not...
Actually, no, Star Wars brings in a shit ton of dough, too. I'm not sure why they did this.
This seems really weird. I just don't know how popular the Solo movie is going to be.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about it, and it's coming out not too far away.
We don't have great track records for Star Wars if Rogue One was the first time we actually got one that was worth a shit. And I don't know. I really don't want to... Look, the reason we all like Han Solo is that in that first movie, he's a bastard. Mm-hmm. He's a dickbag. That's what makes him kind of cool, is the fact that he's willing to murder people in the cold blood in the middle of a cantina. He only rescues the princess if it gives him direct financial gain.
He's just not a nice person.
He's a smuggler. He's a jerk, but he's charismatic. He has his own code. And if I were to imagine Solo, if I was to imagine what's Han Solo's story before he hooks up with Luke and Leia and them, I would think that, he was probably even a worse piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he wasn't, better than he does get later,
Yeah. So, I'm not sure if I'm up for a movie where he, I don't know, is a wide-eyed, like, here's our hero again. It would kind of like, I don't know if it'll be bad as X-Men Origins Wolverine, as into destroying a character we thought like was super cool. I mean, I would like to see him and Lando first hook up, like the first meetup. That might be kind of fun. I actually kind of like that idea. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not 100% sold on it. Let's see, what do we think about June here? Because that pretty much has it in May. June brings us June 1st, Deadpool 2, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, so we've had like one fucking teaser trailer for this movie, and it was amazing, even though it didn't show us any of the movie. I was still like, nope, I'm super excited for this. And yeah, we got Cable, we got the X-Men coming back for it, we got, Ryan Reynolds is super jazzed. We have a different director this time around, which, it might cause some concern.
We'll have
but
to see.
I don't know, like from what we saw, like the color palette and the way it's shot seems actually a little bit more arty, and I actually kind of like that. Like it's a little more colorful,
a little less grungy.
Yeah, like the first Deadpool movie is a little saturated during the action sequence and stuff. Like it's probably so that the costume doesn't look ridiculous during those scenes. So I can see why they did it. Ocean's 8 is coming out June 8th.
That could be a fun movie.
Fitting, June 8th, Ocean's 8. I am excited for that one. I think that even though I only only really like two of the Ocean's movies, and one of them a lot more than the other one. I mean, like Ocean's 11, I was like, man, that's a really fun remake of a movie that wasn't very good. The Rat Pack movie that they remade it from was not the greatest movie to begin with.
Right.
So that was actually a really smart idea on Soderbergh's part. Is like, I'm going to take a movie that should have worked but didn't, and then actually make it work.
Fix it a bit. Yep.
Let's see what else gives us. June 15th, it's Pixar's The Incredibles 2.
Oh my god, it's been so long.
It's been so long. Has it been too long, Travis?
No.
Or is it? No. It's never too long. Yeah, so apparently it's going to be a direct sequel.
Yeah, it's going to be from what I heard, taking place like immediately after the first movie.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like that. At first I heard a rumor that it might actually take place a few years in the future with Dash trying to deal with being an adult, actually. Which I also thought, like, that sounds kind of neat, too. Maybe he has his own family and stuff. But if it's just going to be a direct sequel, I'm also cool with that because I do really like those characters.
It's always annoys me because we've had like how many Cars movies since the first Incredibles movie?
Well, I think that the Cars movies were just like, it's so merchandise heavy that they don't care if they don't have an idea. Incredibles 2, you kind of want to wait until like, well, if we don't have an idea, why would we do it? I mean, to be fair, how long did it take? Of like, I don't know, what kind of story could we tell with a Fantastic Four type team? With,
it is the best Fantastic Four movie.
It's not like superheroes are very big right now. What are you doing, Pixar? Like, what the fuck? Where have you been? June 22, the 22nd, it's Jurassic World, The Fallen Kingdom. In which we might have the lowest stake Jurassic Park film, in which we're trying to save dinosaurs from a volcanic island.
Yeah, I just don't know if this one's gonna do anything.
Guys, you've got the premise backwards. We don't, like, we care about the people trying to escape Jurassic Park, trying to escape the monsters that we've made there. We don't... We aren't like rooting for, you know, Jaws to get away from the horrible, you know, people that are hunting him. Like, it's like, can you think about this premise and how ridiculous it is?
It's a bit weird.
Like, on its face, we're gonna save the monsters that we've created. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, but you know, their dinosaurs are extinct. Like, you admitted that you genetically manipulated them from clones to look more like what monsters they are for commercial purposes. They aren't actually even dinosaurs.
Right.
They're monster-saurs. Mm-hmm. You made them that way. You fucking made one of them specifically to be a fucking weapon.
Yep. To sell money.
That's ridiculous. Hey, man, you don't root for the sharks in Deep Blue Sea. Actually, I do root for the sharks in Deep Blue Sea.
Well, that's a completely different thing.
That's a totally different argument, though.
And that is not fair.
That's that movie is the Shark Tank Redemption. That's great. I am not looking forward to that one, even though I was one of those people that actually kind of liked Jurassic World.
I mean, I thought it was fun.
Let's see what else. We had another fucking Purge movie?
Sure, why not?
I thought they finished The Purge in the last one. I actually watched The Purge Anarchy just recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Is that the third one then?
It's the third one, yeah.
Okay.
Where they have a senator that's actually
that one. Okay.
She's unpopular because the Purge is no longer very popular, and she's running on the platform, if I get elected, I will put forward a motion to abolish the Purge and get rid of it. And so during the what might be the last Purge, they send assassins out to fucking get her ass. And it's all about like, oh shit, it's, you know, it could be the last one. So I thought that was the deal, was that was going to be the last one. Also, I thought they were just going to tell the story in the TV, because it's going to give a TV show too, The Purge.
Really?
Yeah,
it's getting a movie and a TV show?
The TV show sounds interesting though, because the TV show each season would focus on one Purge, but it would show flashbacks of what those people are, the people that are purging, what they were like throughout the rest of the year. What are they doing the rest of the year? Like, you know,
so like, are they an average Joe? Are they a criminal to begin with?
That's the part that inherently fascinates me. What do you do 2 weeks from the Purge? Like, if you're a boss and you're treating your employees like shit,
right? Do
you suddenly, I don't know, bring donuts to the office 2 weeks from the Purge?
Do you hope they like just forget that you're a complete asshole? Do
you do raises, or do you keep being a jerk, and then maybe are you fortifying a specific bunker for the rest of the year? What are you doing throughout the Purge year that, like, because we always focus on the night because that's the interesting part of the Purge.
Right.
But there's other shit going on throughout the rest of the year totally dealing with the Purge. If the Purge was a real thing, it would permeate the rest of our culture.
Right. It'd be like election year. We'd be like, nope, things are different now.
Let's see. We have the next one, July 6th, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. So, May and July, so it's gonna get to the point where eventually we're gonna get a Marvel movie every other month, dude. I liked Ant-Man. I thought it was very fun, a fun heist film.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what you do with a sequel with that. I like introducing the Wasp. That's really fun.
Yes.
It'll be, it won't be the first solo female superhero, but it'll be their first main one if she gets the same billing as Ant-Man does.
We'll have to see on that, though.
I mean, I could see them both being an equal partnership in that movie, but she's probably more of a sidekick. Mm-hmm. She's probably more of a secondary
she's
character.
In the name, but is that a name because she's a main character, or is that like the title of the movie, like Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I don't know. Hotel Transylvania 3, in which they go on a vacation on a cruise ship.
That seemes like a weird idea.
One of them's a fucking vampire.
I mean, I wasn't going to point it out, but you pointed it out.
What the fuck? Oh, anyway. Tartakovsky, get your shit together. between this and the ending of Samurai Jack. All right, what else is up? July 20th, Alita Battle Angel, Attack of the Big Eyes.
Yes.
So, man, our trailer talk video of that got a lot of flack on it.
Really?
Yep.
I can live with that.
People were not fans of us making fun of Alita and her big ass eyes. But, come on, guys. Like,
they're big.
How do you watch that trailer and not immediately get drawn to that specific element of it?
It's kind of there.
They're scary, okay? Like,
really terrifying, actually.
But I'm interested in a James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez collaboration film here.
Yep.
I want to see it. I will see it. I'm interested. The sixth Mission Impossible film.
Ugh.
I don't know. Like, I actually like the Mission Impossible films, like the latest ones. Like, they're not awful. They're this generation's
They're not awful.
They're this generation's kind of James Bond of like the more ridiculous James Bond. So kind of like, well, not Moonraker level, but like Thunderball maybe, like kind of like where you're swimming away from sharks.
Okay.
With like and stuff. Yeah, that sort of thing.
I'm glad you actually had to quantify that.
There's a scale, man, to the James Bond films. What else do we got here? We have Teen Titans Go to the movies.
Rotten fucking hell.
Look, I don't have a specific problem with Teen Titans Go specifically, other than the fact that it just replaced one of my favorite shows ever with a short attention span theater show, which is the reason I hate Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't hate Ultimate Spider-Man because it's a bad show. I couldn't really tell you if it is a bad show or not. It's such a different type of show.
Right.
But it replaced Spectacular Spider-Man, and I don't like fucking amazing shows getting replaced by whatever mediocre version of the new shows are. And I don't know. So their movie show, like, I'm not sure how you tell a movie when they switched the format to tell shorts. Like, that was the idea. Like, why would you do a movie? A movie from the previous ones would have made sense.
Yeah.
The Teen Titans in Tokyo, that one made sense.
That was a great movie too.
That was pretty awesome. Let's see here. We have in August, because we already moved to August.
That was a short one then.
The Equalizer 2, a sequel to that Denzel Washington movie. Interesting. Okay. We have The Predator, though. The Predator movie that is, I think, taking shit back to basics with one Predator versus a bunch of people.
Okay.
It has Miranda from Mass Effect in it. Yvonne Strahovski.
Uncanny Valley Lady.
Uncanny Valley Lady, which super unfair to call her that, but... Sorry, I played Mass Effect before I watched Chuck. Like, you are now in the uncanny valley of an actual person. But yeah, that sounds really cool. I like all the Predator movies, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like all of them. Even Predator 2.
Okay.
I think Predator 2 is fun as shit. Like, it's not really as serious as the first Predator is.
New.
But it is really fun. Let's see what else we got here. We have the Barbie movie on August 8th.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's that. I mean, on one hand, I'm like surprised the Barbie hasn't had a movie before.
Oh, I'm sure she must have, but I don't know if it's in like a lot. Like, is it a big screen movie? Probably not.
I'm looking forward to their crossover with G.I. Joe, where, your sister would always take your G.I. Joes and marry them to her Barbies. Like, stop it. Duke doesn't play like that. Everyone knows Duke is gay.
Right.
Okay? Everyone knows Duke likes the dudes. I mean, respect the continuity. Let's see what else we got here. We have that fucking Scarface remake that's supposed to come out on August 10th.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've heard nothing about.
No, me neither, actually.
So I'm not sure if that might get pushed back or not, but I'm not really interested in a Scarface remake, to be completely honest. I think Scarface is a really good movie for the first part of it. Like, the rise is always more interesting than the fall of that movie. But let's see here. Let's see, we're in the ends of the doldrums of August, kind of. Dark Mind. Johnny English 3. Ugh. Okay. The Happy Time Murders. It's interesting. Alright, let's move to the September.
Just skip all the way through.
We're just gonna skip it. Okay, Robin Hood Origins.
Okay, keep skipping.
Oh boy.
Just keep skipping.
So how weird is it that it took them this long to try and get on the Archer craze with a Robin Hood movie, considering Robin Hood is in the public domain, not unlike King Arthur. And with, you know, the Hunger Games movies, the Hawkeye, and even in video games, archery became a big thing.
Right.
Like, I remember 2013 was the year of the Archers, basically? 2012 or 2013.
Something like that.
Because that was like Avengers, Hunger Games, Last of Us, Tomb Raider reboot, and like it was some other I think Far Cry even had the bow and arrow in it, didn't it? And that's not about time frame. There was like a 2-year period there where archery was fucking cool. It was amazing. So yeah, a little late to the fire there, guys.
We're gonna start calling you Maze Runner.
Let's see. See that the movie Smallfoot, where there's a take on the Bigfoots are afraid of people and they think people are this urban legend sort of thing. Oh man, let's move to October. This is all shit.
So let's just keep going.
Venom is supposed to come out in October.
Keep going.
October 5th. Oh boy, every time we get a news story about that Venom movie, I get like really depressed.
Dude, just pretend it doesn't exist. That's probably your best bet.
Well, I know the Marvel movies are going to basically do that, so
Yeah.
it's not like it really matters. Goosebumps gets a sequel in October 12th.
Okay.
All right.
I heard the first one was good. I never actually watched it, so.
On October 19th, we get the pseudo-sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tutu and The Girl in the Spider's Web.
The Girl with Dragon Tutu? That's a completely different movie.
So, it's going to have whole new actors, whole new different director, but it's still going to be a sequel to that first movie.
Okay.
So.
That's weird.
I don't know. Weird. I really like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I thought the remake that David Fincher did, I thought it was pretty stellar.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
See here, we got the new Halloween movie on October 19th.
Meh.
I don't know if we need another Halloween movie or another reboot of that fucking franchise.
Reboot / remake / fusion of all three.
I don't know. We have something in October 26th just called Overlord, which makes me think it's
the game.
yeah, I want it to be a movie adaptation of that like basically like evil Pikmin game.
Yeah.
If you guys don't remember that one. Let's see what else we got here. Fantastic Beasts sequel in November 16th.
Well, I know where you probably won't find me is watching that movie.
The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh,
so
God.
more Johnny Depp. That's what that fucking franchise needs.
Nope. You will not find me there. I am not fantastic enough.
Let's see. I skipped over a bunch of ones in November, though, because November 2nd, Mulan, the live-action version of Mulan, comes out.
Okay. I mean, that could be good.
That one's interesting. I mean, out of all the 90s Disney... Mulan was actually a little later, wasn't it? Wasn't it 2000s? No, wait. It was late 90s. Nah, I forget.
It's either late 90s or early 2000s.
Shit, I can't remember when that movie came out. It was back when Eddie Murphy was actually relevant still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one might actually be an interesting one. Like, do you try and make a Chinese epic out of that, but with an American movie studio?
Don't know.
Because it's a Chinese war movie when you get down to it. Like, that's what it is.
I mean, look at Coco.
Yeah, I guess. But this one isn't going to be animated,
Right.
I mean, if it was animated, I would be like, you know what, Disney, you got the benefit of the doubt for me.
That.
Okay, I'm 100% behind you in the animation department. You rarely miss on it. You're batting 1,000. Their live action stuff,
that's like less than 33%, I would say.
It's less than stellar, okay? So, yeah, that has me a little concerned. Their version of the Nutcracker comes out, though, also, and that, like, they're going to compete with themselves, goddamn. Yeah, I think there's a trailer out for that one, too, that looks kind of weird, too, like their version of the Nutcracker. Also, the X-Men film, X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
So we're going to hit the Dark Phoenix storyline again. Hopefully do it right this time around. I don't know about the X-Men films movie, man.
Like, the actual, normal continuity seems like it's kind of iffy now.
I don't know. I always think the X-Men films are so... they're so prevalent, but then I go back and look at them like, man, there's so few I actually really like.
Right.
Like, it's surprising when you go back and you go like, man, Logan, Deadpool, if we count it, X-Men First Class, like most of Days of Future Past. Now that I think about
Some of it.
like Days of Future Past, like I look back on it, and I'm like, was I really just excited that they they basically made X3 not a thing? Did I give it a lot of cred on that?
I mean, it was a pretty clever premise. I will give them that. No matter.
Did we all
what.
give them cred on this Quicksilver having a great super speed, like the best concept of super speed ever?
That's true too.
But yeah, what do we got here? Oh, this is interesting. So Dr. Seuss is the Grinch.
Yeah, why?
So this is
This one's animated, right?
animated, yeah, 3D animated, it looks like, and it's also going to be like a prequel, sort
Why?
of. I don't know. Like, and why in November? Why not Christmas, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like, wasn't there something about like Dr. Seuss's like wife basically demanded them not to do this anymore after the live action Grinch Stole Christmas or something because how like insulting it was?
Yeah, I mean, let's see here. Oh, I was just trying to look up if they were still using Bryan Singer for the director of X-Men, or for Dark Phoenix.
I think they were, but
Nope, it's Simon Kinberg, actually.
Okay, and
So
who's
Bryan
that?
Singer is out.
That's probably for the best, honestly.
Mhm. And, oh, no.
Is this worse?
No, actually, he has a lot of producer credits. I thought he actually directed Fantastic Four for a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
But no, he's just he's a producer. He's a producer on it, I guess. Yeah, so I think this might be one of his first directing projects, actually. Yeah, because he's produced The Martian, Deadpool, X-Men Days of Future Past, Legion, Logan, The Gifted. Man, this guy's really into X-Men. Star Wars, Rebels. Yes, he's been a producer on a lot of shit.
Well,
yeah, he's been a producer on all of the X-Men movies, it looks like. So that's probably why he's been around that camp.
right. I mean, at least he's worked with the projects before.
So we have the Wreck-It Ralph sequel in November 21st.
Yeah, I saw that. It's got like what's the title again?
Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2. So Ralph takes it to the internet. Now that's a good idea. That's taking a joke and a video game joke and expanding it to an online format.
Yeah.
There's stuff to be had there. I totally see that. Let's see, what else do we got? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in December.
Oh, yes, the
December
animated
14th.
one.
Yep. So that's the animated one that I'm actually really interested in seeing. I'm not sure if it'll be good or not, but I mean,
Hey, if it gives us Spider-Pig and Spider-Gwen, I'll buy it.
December 21st is Aquaman.
Oh yeah,
enough.
I suppose that'll be coming out too.
Pretty close to Christmas for that one. Hopefully they aren't, competing with the next Star Wars movie. Let's see. Or is no?
Well, there won't be a Star Wars one this year.
That's right. Solo is coming out on May. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So there is no Christmas Star Wars movie.
So no, that's actually probably a great idea.
Yep. Instead, it'll be Mary Poppins Returns at Christmas Day, along with the Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Huh.
Interesting Christmas debuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the movies in 2018, guys.
It's a lot of movies.
Yeah, I'm really again, not surprisingly, I'm looking forward to the Marvel films.
Marvel, and
It's all Marvel, man.
maybe DC.
And yeah, even the Disney's animation looks like it's going to have a really interesting year too. Surprisingly enough, Fox's X-Men movies, I mean, we're getting Deadpool 2 and the New Mutants this time around. I mean, and Dark Phoenix, so that's 3 X-Men movies, for this year. And yeah, so it's going to be another superhero-filled year, not surprising. I don't know. I'm looking forward to some other blockbusters like Pacific Rim and Rampage. I mean, I'll watch them, and
Of course you will.
Hopefully that they'll be more fun than not. Those are movies I go in knowing I'm like, okay, hopefully that they're like a Fast and the Furious dumb ride that I can go along with. And Ready Player One, I've already stated how like I'm a little trepidatious on that.
Right.
So so that's our movies. Should we go through some video games?
Sure.
For 2018? Like, I mean, I'd go through TV shows, but I want to just go through everything that's renewing, because everything we love is getting renewing. Like, Good Place is getting a season 2. Steven Universe is continuing. Nothing big that us two really liked got canceled.
Right.
So
Surprising.
yeah, everything that we already love is coming back. So, but some of it's not coming back until later. Like, Westworld and Game of Thrones and all that good
Right.
stuff. Let's see what we got here for video games. We have that sequel to the Digimon story, Cyber Sleuth.
The one you absolutely hate.
That game is trash. That game sucks.
I'll play it anyway, because I'm a slut for Digimon.
It's not even a Digimon game, man. It's a completely different game that
But
got a
it has Digimon
reskin
in it. Leave me alone.
Kirby Battle Royale, another Kirby game.
Kirby games are always fun.
Yep.
I am kind of interested in seeing what the Switch all does this coming year.
Switch has been doing pretty good in their hardware sales, man. Mm-hmm. So it's time to see if their software can back that shit up.
And it looks like they're making their own new games, plus they're basically taking, like, there was actually some good things that were on the Wii U, like Bayonetta 2 and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, we're taking the good stuff from there and actually moving it to the Switch. I'm like, okay, that's probably a good idea.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z is getting a lot of credit just for looking like the exact anime, basically, while still being a fighting game. It's still like it's a 3D, but it has the only one plane style, right?
But I think it's got a bunch of it might be 3-on-3?
Yeah, or something like that. It might be like something crazy like that now that I think about it. Also, I think that's also the city of the Final Fantasy game, right?
Yep, that's also coming out that month.
That also has
this month, rather.
That also has like 3, like on 3 or something, if I remember right. So, yeah, I'm interested. Like, I really like the Budokai games for Dragon Ball Z. Ever since they went to the Tenkaichi stuff, I've been kind of like,
Xenoverse is pretty fun.
Yeah, I tried Xenoverse, and it's another one of those things of like, yep, takes too long to get everywhere. It takes too long to learn everything, and I don't know. With my limited time, I can't even get into Horizon Zero Dawn again because I had to relearn everything.
Right.
I was like, fuck. So I've only been playing games that I know how to play so far. Shadow of the Colossus, the remaster or remake or whatever the fuck you want to call it, is coming out for February. Let's see what else we got here. We have Dynasty Warriors 9, another Dynasty Warriors game in February.
There's only 9? Huh.
Well, they stopped for a while and started making the other, Gundam, Gundam Warriors or whatever it was called.
The spin-off and all that.
Yeah, they made that one. They made the One Piece one. Wasn't One Piece basically that?
Probably.
They had a couple One Piece games that were like that. I think they even had a Bleach game that was like that. Mm-hmm. I might even own that one.
Yeah, I think you do, actually.
Let's see. I like this. The name of this game on the list here is just Girls und Panzer Dream Tank Match.
Okay.
Let's see. The Payday sequel. Devil May Cry HD collection.
Yeah, I think that's just coming out for like the Xbox or Switch or whatever one it hasn't been out on yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Attack on Titan 2. For those of you who remember, Attack on Titan had an actual game made off of it. It was okay. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth like the $40 that they wanted for it. It was like more of like, if you paid $20 for it, it's like this fun 3D motion gear simulator sort of thing. It's just, it goes in a weird direction because they couldn't follow what the anime did because they didn't know they knew that there was going to be a Sasquatch Titan, but they didn't know what it was going to do.
Okay.
So, let's see here. Valkyria Chronicles is getting another game. 4? They're up to 4?
Yeah, well, apparently they can. I actually never played number 1, which I definitely enjoy, but then they kind of switched the format up in number 2, and then apparently like the third game, by the sounds of it, was awful. So now it sounds like they're going kind of back to basics in the new one.
Mm-hmm. Ni no Kuni also gets a sequel.
That one's been delayed like 3 or 4 times now. Mm-hmm. And they keep like changing up how that one looks too. I don't know if I'm going to bother with it until they
also
do something.
A Curious A Way Out, the co-op prison break game.
That looks interesting.
I did like that one when I saw it at the previous E3. I was like, oh, that looks fun. A couch co-op game based off of a prison, like trying to escape a prison.
Yes.
That's different. I like that.
You should definitely play that one.
I definitely want to try that one. Let's see what else we got here. Far Cry 5 also in March.
I keep forgetting that game has not come out yet.
Kill some fucking rednecks, baby.
Yeah.
Some MLB games, Super Robot Wars, whatever that is. That sounds fun, but probably sucks. Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Edition. And that's all the ones for that actual have dates. All the other ones basically are like, they come out sometime in 2018. Let's see what else is here. Blaze Blue also gets another game in this year, it looks like.
It does?
Yep, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
Oh, that's right. It's one that it's a crossover between Blaze Blue, Persona, and oddly enough, Ruby.
Dude, really?
Yeah. Like, I'm not even shitting you.
That sounds badass.
Or at least I've seen characters. I don't know if they're special characters or if they're actually like mixed in, but I did see like characters from Ruby. On there.
Cool.
So yeah, that sounds actually really fun.
Hey, we were just talking about Black Clover before. Black Clover is getting a video game, it looks like. Black Clover Project Knights.
Whatever.
Because they're all Magic Knights, remember? Let's see. Here. Darksiders getting a sequel, the Darksiders 3, which...
I heard Darksiders 2 is actually a really good game.
I have it on PS Plus right now.
Do you?
Yep. I was actually thinking about playing it.
Because I've heard that Darksiders 1's kind of meh to mediocre, whereas like Darksiders 2 is apparently really good.
Yeah, that's the ones where you play as like the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Right.
I think the first one you play as War, the next one you play as Death.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the latest one you don't play as a Apocalypse Rider, but you play as Wrath or something. Like some female vengeance spirit or something.
Okay.
Let's see here. Detroit, Become Human.
It's going to be awful because that studio is awful.
Which studio is that again?
I forget, but I know they're awful because
It's the one from that made the other...
Heavy Rain, I believe.
Yes.
Yep, so they're awful.
Yeah, let's see. Days Gone. That was the
zombie one,
the zombie one where it treats zombies like that one's got a lot of flack lately, like, oh, another zombie game. But I'm like, I kind of like how zombies are treated as this big hornet's nest sort of thing.
Right, like a hive mind. They all kind of move in like a wave almost.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got here. Fear Effect. Fear Effect's getting another game? What? That was a really old game back in the day. I used to see it on G4 whenever they'd play it. Sometimes G4 would play cutscenes from games that made no sense.
Okay.
Like they were just like, whoa, look at this weird... It was a lot of Metal Gear on there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So they would show Fear Effect. Like that was a weird fucking story as well. Let's see. God of War. We get the new God of War game this year.
Looks very interesting, actually.
Yeah. I mean, God of War, as a way of the Last of Us. I'm digging into that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Making Kratos actually a sympathetic character for once.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have Jurassic World Evolution, which is basically like The Sims, but with Jurassic
That
World
looks kind of fun. I'll admit it.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to come out this year.
No.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Honestly, just no.
It's hard to take their word on it, honestly. Let's see.
Like when it gets to late 2019, I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever.
A bunch of shit we also don't care about. Red Dead Redemption gets the sequel. I'm excited for that one. Wait a minute. What the hell is this?
What?
Overkill's The Walking Dead. Is there a Walking Dead game that's not
Telltale?
Telltale? See, Pave. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another Walking Dead game. I'm not sure what the hell that one will be. I think the last one before the Telltale took over was the one with Daryl, where he played as Daryl. It was pretty awful. I remember playing that for a little bit. Let's see here. We got Shin Megami Tensei.
Well, there's one of those like every year.
Strange Journey Redux. So that might actually just be a re-release. Oh yeah, it's a re-release for the 3DS.
Could be. They re-release or make a new one like every year of those games.
Shenmue 3.
Yeah, that game seems like it's super popular. That was actually one of those Kickstarter ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, where like apparently the first few games were so fucking popular that it Kickstarted like in a day.
Mm-hmm. Another Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter World.
Monster Hunter World, actually, that's coming out this month, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is actually for PS4, which I'm like, oh,
cool.
So you mean I don't have to use the DS's crappy controllers for an open world game? That might actually be something I'm interested in. Nothing I'll buy right out of the gate, but definitely I'll keep an eye on it.
Sure. Pirate game Skull and Bones.
I think Sea of Thieves is the one we were actually interested in, though.
Yeah, well, I forget they were both. The Skull and Bones is basically the Assassin's Creed combat.
Yeah, I think so.
If I'm remembering right, we might have that one switched around. The Spider-Man game comes out this year.
Yes.
Yeah, oh boy,
finally!
I'm love a good Spider-Man game. I'm very excited. We haven't really had a fairly fantastic one, and in my opinion, since Web of Shadows, which I think doesn't give the credit it deserves. Also, out of my favorite Spider-Man games, it was like that one and Ultimate Spider-Man were my favorite Spider-Man games.
Okay.
Let's see what else here. Super Meat Boy Forever.
What?
Forever. If you guys remember Super Meat Boy.
Not really.
It was another platformer game that was got a lot of credit for being very hard.
Oh, okay.
Let's see a lot of other sequels. The Crew 2, The Guild 3, the amalgamation of some other group of people 4. Let's see, The Walking Dead, the final season.
Ooh, bet you'll enjoy that.
Yeah, that's the Telltale game. And it says like the final season that they're going to wrap it up after that. That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's their like most popular franchise with the Telltale guys that put them on the map. So I'm interested to see how that shit wraps up. Clementine's story, if that's, I assume that's where we're going. The Wolf Among Us gets a season 2.
Oh, that's
Fuck
right.
yeah.
That's finally coming out.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. I love The Wolf Among Us.
I should finish playing it.
Yeah, it's a movie, it's a game that I feel like never really got like the people talk about the Batman game now and the Walking Dead game when it comes to Telltale, and even Tales from the Borderlands gets a lot of like, man, it might not have sold well, but it gets a lot of critical acclaim.
Right.
I feel like Wolf Among Us does not. It gets the shaft of that, like, because that was a fucking amazing game.
It was.
That I feel like we all kind of forgot about. So I'm really glad that it's getting a sequel. I love the film noir with fairy tales type thing. It really tickles my fancy. Let's see here. Total War gets another game. Total War Saga. Thrones of Britannia. Let's see. Let's see. Another Fire Emblem game, Untitled. Another Ace Attorney game, Untitled. Another Yoshi game, Untitled. But they're all coming out. Ooh, all these are coming out for the Nintendo Switch, though.
Yeah.
Not just the DS.
I'm not surprised because I think they're done with the DS, honestly. I think they're like, nope, Switch is it now. That's all we're focusing on.
Makes sense, though.
I mean, it kind of does.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want a competing,
handheld.
If it is a handheld, if that's what you're doing. It's going to be sad for all those DS owners, though.
I mean, the 3DS actually did have a pretty... It was okay. It was better than the Wii U. Let's put it that way.
Okay, let's see what else we got. Did I just mention Valkyria Chronicles?
Yes.
Valkyria Chronicles 4?
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Okay. It's on here again in the list. I'm not sure if they repeated it or not.
Possibly.
Let's see. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Super fun. That was a super fun game I hear from the PS4, but that's also coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are being re-released to the Switch now this coming year.
Let's see, and Xenonauts, World of Warcraft expansion, Battle for Azeroth.
I think they're saying this is the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know there was such a thing as last one when it came to World of Warcraft.
Someone told me that, and I was like, "Are you sure? I mean, are you really sure?"
I mean, it doesn't sound right to me.
No.
But yeah, that's all I got for video games.
Oh, because you missed a couple.
Did I miss a couple?
Yeah, well,
which one
Anthem.
did I not hit? Anthem, that's right. Anthem was on here in the Untitles. I guess I must have missed it.
I don't like whether or not that game's gonna be good or not. I mean, you'd think EA kind of might have learned their microtransaction lesson by now, but.
Well, look, it might be another case of like too late to change anything about it, because it might be if anything, it's going to be their version of Destiny. And I'm not really into the games like Destiny.
No.
And if it is good, I'm still going to be mad because it's like, oh, you just poured resources into this, and this should have been the next Mass Effect game. So I don't think Anthem can really win when it comes to me.
Probably not.
So
I mean, I keep hearing about like Destiny where it's like, oh, well, like level 250 through 299 are locked behind DLC, and I'm like, what? Like, what are you even doing with this game? What is happening here?
Oh, but people play it, Travis, so it must be good.
WoW is on its, ninth rendition? It's whatever. Other one is Soul Calibur 6.
Oh, another Soul Calibur game. All right.
Soul Calibur 5 was not great. It was kind of mediocre at best, to be honest, I felt. But I like Soul Calibur 4 a lot. So I'd probably still give this one a try. It still has one of the more entertaining character creators that a fighting game has. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, for me, Soul Calibur, I've missed all the Soul Calibur games. I only played, I think 3 or whatever when you guys had it.
We had 4.
You had 4? Okay. Yeah. And so for me, Soul Calibur, the only interesting thing about it is, who's going to be the DLC or the characters that they're gonna throw in there at the
Darth
near the
Vader and Yoda.
Yeah, or something like
'Cause that's always fun.
Those do amuse me.
Mm-hmm. But last one I actually have on my list that you didn't mention was that vampire game.
Ooh, the one that's spelled weird?
Yes, the one that's spelled vampire.
Vampire,
whatever you want to say.
Which one is like? So that one is for the PS4 and Xbox, right?
I think it's a multi system thing.
Okay, so and then like, what's the deal with that one? Like, what's the main hook of it?
It's like that's
first person, right?
No,
it's like it's that third person, like, but over the shoulder, like, does it look like Resident Evil 4 sort of?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm thinking of like a bunch of different games right now. So.
Vampire is that one that's set in like the sort of grungy. I'm not sure it's in Britain or not, but about like there's an infestation of vampirism going around, and your character like is a vampire who's trying not to feed. I think. Mm-hmm. It looked really interesting. I remember we did watch that at the previous E3 as well. Mm-hmm. And it kind of looked kind of fun. It reminded me a little bit of like BioShock and the like. So.
Yeah, it takes place in London during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic.
Yes. I mean, it looked grungy, so I assumed it was London.
So, yeah, that looks good. I always wanted a good vampire game.
This one looks really fun. I've bought a few other vampire games on Steam that were like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah, it looks like you get kind of cool teleportabilities.
Mm-hmm. It seems like they're going full out with the vampire powers. Vampire powers, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always like that games that can make you feel like, I think that was the problem I had with the Force Unleashed or whatever, is that it never made you feel like an all-powerful Jedi.
Yeah.
Of just like, hey, I want to like fuck up ATSTs and knock that shit over with the Force. Like, nope, you gotta hack away at it with a lightsaber.
Yeah, except if you want that kind of game, then you just get a Gundam or Dynasty Warriors type game.
Mm-hmm. Well, even Dynasty Warriors, it's like, no, I want to chop people like in half with my lightsaber. Yeah, but like, no, I don't care if I want to break mechanics. I want to chop people in half, and then I want to force lightning a bunch of people to this shit. Like, well, it'll be too easy. Figure it out, because I want to do those things. And so for a vampire, like, yeah, I want to suck blood. I want to teleport to people. I want to fuck people up. I mean, I liken it to the Batman games, where the Batman games have such a simple but satisfying mechanic.
Yeah.
Into where when I play a Batman game, I can fly into a room full of 8 to 10 dudes and know that, I got this.
I got it.
Whatever. Like, they got guns.
You're just people.
I'm Batman. And those are like some of the most like fun superhero games that have ever been made. Mm. So, like, yeah,
there's like, you can play different games for different reasons. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, some of the games are going to be mechanically easier than others because that's the point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know. So I'm hoping that, like, if they err on the side of, like, just make me super powerful as this vampire. That's all. When people want to play as vampires, they don't want to play a well-balanced experience where, like, I fight humans that are have abilities, and I want to be pared down so that the humans have a chance. Mm-hmm. If anything, they want to have like, okay, the humans have to get like tank suits or something to fight me because I'm so goddamn powerful that no normal human being could ever pose a threat to me.
But now, don't quite do it like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, where that game scaled way too fast. Or else you're like, oh, there's like Hulkbusters everywhere, like the cops summon Hulkbusters.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah.
I super like the Hulk Ultimate Destruction game because of that.
Okay.
Where it scales where things escalate so fast to try and keep up with you, so they keep summoning bigger and bigger robots. But yeah, anyway, I think that's, is that the last one we had for mentions?
That's the last on my list.
Alright, I don't really have anything else to match for TV shows other than, like, I know the Purge show is supposed to be coming out.
Well, talking about, like, upcoming TV shows, always kind of more difficult, because, like, I can get the premise of this and the network it's on, but there's not really much other information we can go off of.
Well, I don't want to go through and just like, hey, this thing is coming back, this thing is coming back, this thing is coming back. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some fun stuff, like The Tick is
That's
coming.
the Hulu one? Or?
No, that's the one on Amazon. Like, there's a bunch of Amazon Amazon things that got picked up that are going to be coming out this year or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, just like relapses for seasons and stuff. Like I think later in the year we're actually getting another Voltron. So hopefully we get that.
Okay.
That's exciting for us. I mean,
those ones always seem to come out of nowhere. We're just like, hey, you want Voltron? I'm like, oh, Voltron's back?
Yep.
Okay.
Another season of A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Okay.
That hits Netflix some point this year. Not sure when.
I got like 3 episodes left
The
of that
Netflix
show.
ones are hard because they never say when they're gonna drop until like, I mean, Punisher was like a month out before it released when it was gonna drop.
Yeah, but we should have figured out when that was going to drop because they always drop at the same time.
I guess Legion is getting a season 2, so I want to get caught back up on season 1. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like all the real cool shit's waiting until 2019, man.
Yeah.
But with that, we are gonna sign off, guys. We will see you guys later in 2018 and just start living some of this cool stuff we are looking forward to. I'm excited for this year for many a reason, entertainment being one of them. And I foresee some really cool stuff this year. If Black Panther is going to be a fun way to basically start the year,
right.
Start the blockbuster season in February.
Well, geez, like I said, we watched Jumanji, and that was pretty fun.
Man, that was just stupidly funner than it should have been. But
that was a January movie.
Actually, that was a December movie.
Oh, was it?
Yep. It was,
oh.
Yeah, we saw it real late.
Oh, okay.
We saw it very late. So that one still counted to 2017.
Then it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jumanji.
But we do have to update our top 5 lists of movies from 2017, though. So Jumanji number 1, then it's Get Out, and then everything else. So
yeah,
I'll just go back. I'll go back and fix that for all of us. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're going to fix mine too?
Yep.
I mean, that means you're going to knock Blade Runner down a peg, so that's fine with me, actually.
I'm just going to go back and re-edit the episode. And go,
and I like Jumanji.
And number 1 was Jumanji. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking with us for another year, and hopefully you stick around for this year too. With that being said, if you want to check us out on, our social medias and stuff, you can do that at our Facebook page, Unapologetic Geek Out, our Twitter at UGO Podcast, or maybe just of our, our regular website, unapologeticgeekout.com, or you can always email us at unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com. We are always interested in hearing what you guys have to say, and we will even say what you have to say out loud if you give us an iTunes review that is 5 stars. Always want to mention that. If you want us to say something ridiculous or promote something, we will do anything for those 5 stars. It is true, shameless.
He just said Jumanji was one of his favorite movies of 2017, so he'll say anything.
I'll say it. I'll fucking say it. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, with that, we'll see you guys all next time. Unapologetic Geek Out, and